Yeah, what up, YouTube? I'm here putting this truth out. So today we're going to touch the nerve of the mark of the beast. All right, the 666. Because there's a lot of you that are totally confused, and then there's a lot of you that are stuck in your chain or fetters who just don't know. And then the ones that do know the truth don't tell you the truth so that you can keep on believing in all of this bogus mess that they got going on down here. Because their reality is not the true reality of the spirit of the Most High, our Father. Well, my Father, I don't know. I know who your fathers are, depending on what you believe and how you do things. This is the gift that God gives you, but nobody's willing to accept it. And I am nobody, so I accept it. Get it? Nobody can accept the truth. That's like when you watch a movie, they say, nobody can stop the evil guy, the adversary. They say, nobody can stop him, or no one can stop him. What does that mean? And then you see another entity come in and stop them. So who is no one? Who is nobody? I'm nobody. That's me. I come in and I stop stuff and I get the things done. But that's another day, another story. And if you go through some of my histories and things like that for any of the things that I created on my channel, you'll see how I got to where I am today, which is a free man. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a man, so which is a free entity, a free being. Whereas the you beings are still locked under chains and things because you don't understand what you're following. So let me help you out. The mark of the beast, the Jezebel, so on and etc. We're going let's see what they got now. I'm not going to get into anybody else's house about this. I'll just tell you that I believe it's in First or Second Kings where Solomon received 666 pieces of gold from the Queen of Sheba. That's the Queen of the South, Queen of the Earth, the Jezebel, so on, etc. Whatever name you want to give her. Because the first thing you have to understand, and this is why everyone is in disarray right now, everything is not the same. Just because you call yourself a man doesn't mean that's what you actually are. This is a sin that is on you, and you receiving that terminology of a man placed upon your being takes away all your power, all of it, because you don't know what a real man is according to God, not according to what they brainwashed you with since the time you came into this place. This is the biggest thing that I must stress because in Isaiah it says, "Seek ye out of the book and read." Who is ye? Seek you. You're looking for yourself in the book because in another place it tells you you are once the uh, once the uh, our Savior or our Lord comes back, the curtain's going to be pulled back. That's the unveiling. That's the revelation. Everything's going to be shown to you, and you're going to see where you are. If you're in the book of life, you live a certain type of way. If you are in the book of death, you live a certain type of way. You're dead. And 95, I say a good 95% of the population, I'd even go as far as to say a good 97% of the population is still some form of sleep or dead, if you will. Because actually, I would prefer the term sleep because you can wake up from the dream that you're in. You're in a literal dream state because you don't know any better. So you need someone to come tell you better. So this 666 is what I'll help you to know better. Now I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm not going into any of these entities, these demons' houses, and seeing what they have to say about it because my father spoke on it to me, so I know what It is. Okay. Now, like I just said, a man is not a man the way you think it is a man down here just because he got something dangling between his legs. That doesn't make him a man. Just because a woman got a vagina does not, what we call them women, but that's not what a woman is. And what happens is God tells us the characteristics of things, and then you take it upon yourselves and place it on you. So then you'll have a woman calling herself a woman, which is actually not what a woman is. So it leads you into some chains because that's your judgment. Because you were dumb enough to call yourself a woman. When a woman goes into religion, dealing with pretty much anything that calls themselves a man down here, you are in some kind of a bondage. You are not free. If you're a Muslim or something like that, they cover your face. They make you cover your face and put you under their laws and statutes of being a Muslim. Same thing for being Catholic, uh, Israel, or whoever, whatever you decide to be, and call yourself a woman under them, that's the rules you go under. That is how God judges you. You're so, I mean, I understand that you just don't know. You guys just really don't know how judgment is going. Judgment going on every day. You don't know. So I'm going to tell you. So because you called yourself a woman, you are then subjected to be the lower life form under man because he took it upon himself to call himself a man because of this thing dangling between his legs. Not knowing that a man has certain characteristics. Now, when you really read to understand what the word is telling you, because I also am he, the word is telling you that a male has a certain level of knowledge. Any male thing, whether it be a lion, a lamb, a goat, an ox, cattle, whatever you call yourself. This is just a prequel so that you can understand the 666. This is, man, you talk about, I can't find the elect. Just very few of them down here. Anyway, so the 666, I mean, you calling yourself a woman or whatever, this is your sin because you accepted that. That's what you are. So whether you are when you are a male or female animal or entity, because there's no animals spoken of in the Bible, you have to realize that everything spoken of in the Bible, from the trees to the grass to the fruits to the beings that you would think were animals, uh, when you see lions, tigers, and bears and stuff like that, those are entities in their ways. Those are nations' ways. People like them. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter. This is, you really got to throw all of this BS out of your head that you learned from the time you was born here and then went through schooling systems down here. This is a six, but I'll explain that in a minute. So you are not that thing. When you take the name of that thing upon yourself, then you go after that thing's way, which is an idol name. Okay? So even back in the Old Testament, when they took the gold earrings and stuff and made the gold bull, you don't know what that is. That was not an animal. That was what you would call a human being with a certain type of knowledge. Okay? Everything in the book was written of humans, but the things that you're called is what separates you. So if you're a swine, you're eating things that the swine eat, not literal food. This is not literal food. This is all food for thought. This is feeding your mind to see if you are worthy to meet my Father. And I tell you, a lot of you aren't. Almost none of you are. but I'm none as well. So let, let's move on. This is because you need to understand judgment before I even get into any of this. You're judging literally yourself. It's all on you. What happened was you chose to believe the creation, which was when you first came here, was your parents that taught you that you was a little boy. They gave you a name. These is change they threw on you instantly once you came into this place. That's the sin you're born into. You got a name, you got a birth date, because now you're self-exalting yourself and things of this nature. This is wrong. You don't understand what's supposed to be going on down here. So, man means heavenly knowledge, knowledge from heaven. That's all it means, is knowledge from heaven and earth. Because a man is neither. It's not a male or a female. It's both put together equals a man. That's why Jesus is the bridegroom, because he had the knowledge of the earth and he had the knowledge of the Father. He was the bridegroom. Okay? Now, in order to learn all of this, you guys keep reading the wrong books. I'm just telling you straight up. If you think that all the answers is just in the Holy Bible, you're wrong. Because that's why Jesus was traveling. He was traveling to get all the answers. He went into every house. He even talked to the Samaritans, all of them. He went into every house he possibly could go into. There's a reason, but you don't get it because he had to enter once into the holy place. Once you enter into the holy place, then you need to know all the things, all these things, because these are judgments on what you call yourself. So somebody could sit here and say, "Oh, you're a black man. You can call me what you want, but I am not a black man." It is what it is. You know what I mean? Or you could say, "Oh, that's a white man." You could call me what you want, but I'm telling you this: I'm not a man at all. Okay? All right. Where I say I'm not man yet ascended. So if you can figure these things out, then you can understand what I'm telling you right now. Next, everything that is written, and I'm stressing this for a reason, because you are all things. If you call whatever thing you call yourself had a judgment on it, everything did. So you got to figure out what you are. Seek ye out of the book and read. Then once you figure out what you are, you have a job to do as that thing that you are. If you consider yourself Israel, you got certain things you got to do. If you consider yourself a Jew, a Hebrew, there's a reason why I separated. Whatever. You have certain rules and ordinances under your title, because a name is a title and a number is a rank. Y'all don't get it. Because the words that, what they mean to us down here is not the same thing they mean to God. So basically, all that praying and stuff you doing is in vain, because you don't know what you praying to. The words that you use every day to say, "Oh, give me a match so I can light a fire," that don't mean the same. That sentence right there don't mean the same thing to God. Give me a match so I can light this fire. Now, you would think, like a camping fire, but it means something totally not even close to that to God. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, if you can understand that, let's get into these senses. Now, I hope somebody got some understanding, because you really going to need it to get these sixes. Now, the six, first of all, is the number of man. It's the days created, right? So, six being man's number is things that man created. So when Sheba gave out these sixes to Solomon, right? Because Solomon was a man, and I just told you, Female, anything, lion, cat, dog, woman, whatever, means earth knowledge. Sheba has earth knowledge. Her number was 666 of the knowledge that she gave to Solomon. These is your words you use every day, right now. The way that's why that's why the kingdom is at hand, even in your mouth. All right, because your mind has the information to unlock it, but you can't understand how to see it yet. So these sixes that came from the female, the Jezebel, the queen of the south, the witch, whatever you want to call it, all of it means is earth knowledge. All right. Same thing with Adam and Eve. I did a video on them too. You can go back and check it. I think it's called Adam and Eve. What? Not a man, not a woman. Whatever. It's something like that. You could just go into my truth playlist and or my favorites playlist and just check that out. So those sixes here that would, I'm sorry, um, which was received from Sheba. I keep stressing it because you can read this stuff, but you don't know what you're reading. Which means she was of the earth. She was south. Satan fell to India. Sheba, Queen of Sheba. Come on, man. Like, y'all don't get what's going on. That's the problem. You don't get it. So I'm trying to help you get it. Now, these sixes equal women. These sixes are men made of man. They are three women, right? Because they're sixes. So, and you could go into the yin and yang philosophy of it if you want. Either way, if it ain't even a point to it because I did a video explaining yin and yang to you as well. So this six is the knowledge of the earth. That's what these are. Three men's knowledge of the earth. Now, let me tell you what the first six is. Because these are, a woman comes out of a man. So if a man is the thought of heaven and earth, has thoughts from heaven and earth, this is so he can transform things that go on in heaven into things that go on earth. I.e., this would be a corporation, a government, a church, an army, so on, etc. That's what these sixes are because they're women. So this first six would be your government. These are the orders I like to put them in. This first six is your governmental bodies because the woman is the body. Okay, she's the body of the church. Look, man, if you ain't been reading enough to understand, take this truth and run with it because you can save yourself with this. So that's one six that you're not supposed to have a mark of. The governmental system. You're not supposed to live that six. The second six. I'm just showing you your sins right now because of your understanding in the earth. The second six would be your religious bodies and things like that. Now, this governmental body come with from your presidents to your armies, all the way down, right? Now, this second six comes to all your religious chains. These are chains on you. These is fires and laws put on you, stopping you from being able to go across bridges and things without paying tolls. This is all on you because you follow these sixes. All right, these are three women. Now, this woman here, this last woman, is your financial institution system, which would be your corporations, your mom and pop shops, because everything, the head has the idea. Let's call him the CEO. He has the idea that I want to stretch a Walmart across this planet. And so on and etc. So having this idea will give him a woman because now he wants to do it in the earth. He wants to take this knowledge and make it fruitful in the earth. So what he does is he'll take the the knowledge and open a building. Then the the woman is the building as well. Then you got the employees, your cashiers, your managers, and things on so on of that nature. This is you building up your woman. Now, once you understand that, you can understand the spiritual. This is the spiritual side of things because everybody's looking at things from the earth side when you can't. You're reading a spiritual book. That means you need to know the spirits you're dealing with when you go into the book. If you're dealing with the spirits of the Amalekites, you're going to get the judgments of the Amalekites. If you're dealing with the spirit of a lamb, you're going to get the judgment of a lamb. If you're dealing with the spirit of a lion, you're going to get the judgment of a lion. If this is not sinking in, just because you call yourself, and if you deal with the spirit of a man who has the highest judgment, because he's the one that's supposed to be out here giving you this information, but instead, because a man is your leaders, the ones over the body is your man. That's your husband, right there. And to commit fornication, if you work at Popeyes or McDonald's or any other fast food chain, and then or Target or whatever, or any other corporation, you work for let's say Popeyes, and then you go to work at any other corporation, and then you're taking the knowledge from Popeyes to these corporations so that they can start integrating their information into their systems, which will eventually kill Popeyes. That's how you kill a spirit. But y'all don't understand it though. All right. So, or if you, or if you take a religion and apply it to yourself, uh, you let's say you want to be a Muslim, then you subject yourself to being under that rule, and what you are called under that rule, under being ruled as a Muslim, is your judgment. So if you call yourself a woman, and remember, a woman's supposed to protect her head, right? So these are your armies and things. You misunderstanding what you're reading because of what we call a woman down here can never protect a man. I mean, unless you a big old soft 2 foot tall. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to say 2 foot tall because there's some little people out there. But like 4 foot tall, and you just got a 7 foot woman, and then maybe she can protect you. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. But as far as the way you guys are looking at things, the woman is supposed to protect her head. So if the head of the CEO is the head of the body of that woman of Walmart, so that CEO would need protection from Walmart employees. Or if that's a governmental body where it's an army, the general is or the president is going to need protection from his secret service. His secret service and the president need protection from uh, other adversaries around them. But the government is the woman. The president is the man of the woman. You don't get it? Now that's the smallest way that I can make this for someone to understand. So these sixes, when you have the mark of the beast written on your hand or your forehead, this is knowledge. And if it's written on your hand, you see, you don't know what a hand is. You think the hand is the thing you pick up a pen and write with. That is not your hand. Not according to the spirit. Your hand is your powers of control. Your levels that you control things at is your hands. Because you got a left hand power and you got a right hand power, but you don't understand that. Which would be female knowledge and heavenly knowledge. But which hands they are, I'll let you decide. Because I know which hands they are to me. But I can't just be giving out, I'm giving out gold here, willy nilly. I give it out freely because if I free you, then you are then free to go free others. This is the spirit of my Father. This is the spirit of Yahashua. It's just the spirit of Yah. Whoever you want to, whatever you want to call them, because those are the wrong names anyway. They're just pathways. These are the spirits of freedom. Salvation means freedom. What is he freeing you from? Your false thoughts that you was born into. You was born into thinking that you're something that you're not. So the Most High is like, all right, certain entities gotta be on this planet for this to happen. America had to be here for this to happen because the last time it happened, it was Egypt. So much to say. There, in more, Egypt is a type of nation. It's not there. It can be different color, a different race of what you, because a race is a label that they put on you. It's another chain. Another race could be Israel next time, because so much time goes past and then everything changes hands again. But this is the time that we're all supposed to wake up, and the hands is supposed to do what they're supposed to do, so that they don't have to change anymore. You're going to know the truth, and the truth is going to be your judgment. You're not going to have jokers running around stepping on money, talking about, oh, thank you, Jesus. This is what you did for me. I don't know you. You a demon. That's the only thing I know about you. Oh, toss this money at my feet, and I'm gonna send you a prayer. I'm gonna ball it up and send it to your sister right down the aisle. That's y'all wicked as hell. I'm tired of this. And the only way that I'm gonna get out of my damnation is to ensure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, then this ain't gonna help me at all. This is a useless conversation. So what it's telling you, these sixes have hands, like the hands of a king. Um, if you're out there doing the sixes wills, that's your mark that you're on, because you're doing things contrary to the spirit, very contrary to the spirit. So if you accept the spirit, then at this point you will be able to transcend your thought process and to be free. You won't have somebody say, oh, you're a woman. You got to cover your face. You got to put on this garb. You got to go out every day looking like a ninja. The only thing I'm supposed to see is your eyes. That's because of your misunderstanding. You are then subjected to it, and you are judged. And if I come to free you and you don't believe what I just told you, then I leave you to your judgment. This is a very simple process of judging entities down here. But the problem is you don't know how to judge because you subscribe to whatever labels they put on you. You got to take all the labels off. You got to take your knowledge about sex away, your knowledge about numbers away, your knowledge about day and night away. Because the thing in the sky is not the sun that's shining that is referred to in the Bible. If the first son was Adam and the last son was Jesus, what are we talking about now again? The S-U-N I'm talking about. Because you're a star. A sun is a star. That's what they call a star. S-U-N in the sky, in this world. They call it a star for a reason, because you shine. Right now, I am shining so bright you can't see me. You trying to understand what I'm telling you, but a lot of you not going to be able to eat this. Just like the ones that got up and walked away from Jesus. But I'm going to tell you, like Paul said, like Peter said, when Jesus said, are you also going to go away from me too? Because those other bogus halfway apostles left. And he said, where to whom do we have to go to? You have the words of truth. And it is written, no flesh and blood can enter into the kingdom. You live by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord. Adam was a word. Jesus is a word. What word is Jesus? Savior, salvation, freedom. That's the word he is. So you live by his words. Do you not get what I'm telling you yet? He gives you an understanding that is different from your understanding of the things on this plane, on this everyday reality that you was just born into. And the only way to be free from that is to accept what I'm telling you right here, right now. They talk about they will rob you every which way they can. Come pay your tithes, this, that, and the third. What is a tithe? Ask them what is a tithe. How can how come Abraham wasn't there, but others paid tithes in Abraham, others paid tithes in Isaac and of Jacob and of Israel? How is this possible that these entities aren't there, but you're paying tithes in them? This is this is the problem. We have to ascend our thought process to ask the question, what? Because what gets you out of darkness? Because if you're lacking information, you got to ask a question. So to ask the question is to give you light to the problem that you're looking for. So everybody here is marked by the beast. You got to know how to take the mark off. And by taking the mark off is to keep the mark, but receive the upgraded knowledge to heavenly knowledge. Because then you become a bridegroom. You become male and female. Get it? Most of y'all know. Female is earth knowledge. Male is heavenly knowledge and earth knowledge. That's why the woman had to be pulled out of the male. If I have ideas to create anything, I need to pull the woman out of me, out of my staff, which would be my doctrine, my rib, my rod. This is the this, and let me tell you something. When you take the terminology of the word rod and apply it to the spirit as the thing between your legs, you go into error because now you have a lustful spirit on you on top of your bad knowledge. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. That's me. I can see all obstacles in my way. Y'all, everybody's worried about all this stupid stuff. This is nonsense. Nonsense. All it is. I don't even gotta watch them, and I know they're nonsense because they're gonna be telling you to look for stuff in Earth. If you look for stuff in Earth, you're gonna miss the spirit when it comes by to free you. I'm here. I'm trying to free you now by shining the sun on the things that are dark into you. Like, let me give you another example. Do you know who Jupiter is? Jupiter is what one would call Zeus, but he's also it was Peter. I mean Paul. I'm sorry, you might have to check that out because I don't have it right in front of me. But it's either Peter or Paul was called Jupiter among the Gentiles. That's Zeus. So all the things that you think is a fairy tale is really stories about him, the works that he has done, and you don't know what lightnings and thunderings, you don't know what gold and silver. You just think of all of these things as you see them on the earth, not in the spirit. That's what leads you to your sin. And I'm not apologizing from coming out here to burn you, because this truth is the light. I'm tired of jokers running around with this terrible doctrine. Your staff and your rod is crooked. It's not. Look, this. You take away the simplicity of God because you choose to believe them more than you believe Him. And how do you believe Him? By believing you are a man or a woman at this day, at this point in time, right now, at the point of hearing my voice, you are in error because a man has heavenly knowledge and earthly knowledge and teaches. A woman has only knowledge of the earth. And that's why suffer a woman not to teach. You don't let a woman teach. Why? Because how can the body teach if the head is not there? To say the one. All right, so let's say Samsung, the owner of Samsung made the Galaxy Note 5 or 7. Let's say 7 because it ain't made yet. And he has the schematics because it's not made in his head, and then he drew them down. But yet he told the woman about, which would be the rest of the employees, about what would be going on with the Galaxy Note 7. But he didn't give them the schematics, give details to it. So you can mention stuff, but if you try to go out and explain great details of things that you don't have the schematics to, you're going to look like a fool later on. And then that man is going to have to come out and correct you, and then correct all the ones you messed up. Because that's like when somebody passes, oh, it's going to be layoffs next month, and they passing that message around, and then the layoffs never come. And then they say, "Oh, I thought there was going to be layoffs. Who told you this?" And then it come back down. It's in the woman. This is all through the body of the woman. It come down, and it's these two people said it, or this one person said it, and it caused all these problems that didn't never happen. Or it could happen. You see what I'm saying? But you got to know what happens in the woman. All right. And then menstruating blood is when you decide to take on a name. You get blood. You get a bloodline that goes along with that name. So if you call yourself an Israelite or Hebrew or Judah or so on, etc., you are then subscribing to to those judgments of those people, and that is your fault. Your fault because you don't know how to wake up out of it. You love God so much, you'll do anything for him, even if it's the wrong one. That's all I'm trying to say. That is all I'm trying to say. You love him so much, you will do anything for him, even the wrong one. Wrong God. What you mean I'm doing all this for the wrong God? Because as it's written, even the heathen believe in a God, even if it's the wrong God, they still believe in it. So, what's going on? And unless righteousness, there is no peace for you. You always want to be on fire. Somebody's laws and rules and chains and yokes about your neck is always going to be on you because you chose to follow the creation and not the creator. So, unless righteousness, no peace. That is my kiss to you. So when you kiss me the same. Unless righteousness, you say no peace. I'll share that.